Guys, before we get into the video, I'm so excited to announce my very first Meetup game and event that I'll be hosting. Finally, we got this one going on. I'm so excited. So the weekend of September 25th and 27th, I'm coming out to Houston, Texas. I'm playing at a place called Champion Social. It's a brand new poker club and card room down there in Houston, and I'll be there running some 1-3 games and playing for those 3 days, Friday through Sunday. We'll be hosting We'll be playing some nice 1-3 no limit, small and fairly friendly, and I can't wait to go out there, check out the action, and meet a bunch of you guys that are from around the area. So definitely come out. I can't wait to meet a bunch of you guys. There's going to be a bunch of food, drinks, and a bunch of fun things available that they offer in the brand new club. The place looks absolutely gorgeous, and there's a ton of tables for us to play in. If you're thinking about coming and you want to RSVP early, definitely shoot an email to my buddy Brian, who's going to be help running the event. His email is right here. I'll put that right in the description below as well. So feel free to shoot him an email, reserve your spot for the event. I'm so excited to be having this happen. So very first Meetup game event for me. Can't wait to meet all of you guys there.
What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Ethan. Hope you're having a great day. Back at it with another video. After my nice little trip out in Cabo, back at it with the first session back in live poker, and we're gonna see how it goes. Just gotta switch up the gears, go back into six-handed live cash mode, because it's just totally different. Like, I'm not one of those people that can switch back and forth from live and from tournaments and cash too well. It's just so different. So we'll see how today goes. I'm on the list. I'm on every single game. I think there's a 5-10 game running. I'm on the list for that. We'll see what the table looks like, because look, I can't be playing 5-10 unless it's like a pretty good action-y table. So we'll see who are the participants. Only thing I have to go and plug, these bad boys, these chips that I am blocking, the metal coin protectors, card protectors, you'll see those featured in today's video. If you want to check it out, feel free to email me. I sell them for 15 bucks each. It's a great time, help support the channel, and yeah, there's that. Let's get into it.
Hop into the 2-5 game, and the very first hand we're dealt in, we look down at Ace-Jack of diamonds in the big blind, playing 4-handed here. The button opens up the action to $15, and small blind folds, and actions onto me. Very first hand of the session, you know I'm probably going to be winning this, so let's put more money in the middle. I 3-bet to $50, and the button makes the call. So let's go heads up to the flop, which comes 10, deuce, 6, 2 hearts, and a diamond out there. We've got 2 overs, backdoor straight draw, and the backdoor nut flush draw. I c-bet $40, and he makes the call for 40. Going to a turn, which comes the ace of hearts. Pretty darn good turn for us. I'm not really too concerned about the flush getting there. So now I go for value and bet $75. Once again, he makes the call for 75. To the river we go. The river is the 8 of clubs. Trying to figure out a sizing that I should go for, and here just with top pair and a half decent kicker, sure, we're gonna bet a sizing of $225. Sizing up here for real no specific reason other than the fact that, hey, I have an ace. I know people don't like to fold 4-handed, so he thinks about it, hums and haws for a little bit, and he thinks about wanting to fold. He shows his hand face up and shows us ace-queen. So we're screwed. I don't know how he's ever going to fold ace-queen in this spot, but he thought about it, but ends up putting in the call, and no, we are not winning this hand. First hand of the day is a loser. Next, table is filled up, so we're playing 6-handed. We look down at 6-7 of hearts under the gun. Suited connector, we love these even though we are in the worst position, but I open at $20, folds back to the small blind, who now 3-bets to 80. The big blind cold calls here, and I guess we're gonna have to call in position going 3 ways to the flop here. Small blind covers us, we're sitting just a little under 1,000 deep, and the big blind has a pretty small stack, so I guess we're gonna see what develops. Flop 3 ways is pretty decent for us. It's 7, 4, deuce, 2 diamonds out there, and now the small blind leads out for $80. The big blind makes the call for 80, and here I think I'm getting a really great price to continue with 1 pair and a bunch of backdoor draws. Definitely got the backdoor straight draw, and here I think, yeah, like I said, great price with 1 pair. Let's go for it as this board smashes our range. Turn is pretty great for us. It's the 5 of diamonds. Here, improved to the open-ended straight draw, the small blind now leads out for a much larger sizing of $325. The big blind thinks about it and makes the call. He's all in for less. He has $215 total. And now, I don't really know if we can get away in this spot just yet. The small blind leading out again, really large into two players on the turn. It seems a little fishy, especially when that flush gets there. Sure, he can have a lot of ace king, ace queen, ace jack of diamond like holdings, but realistically, it seems like this larger sizing is trying to push people off of this pot. Here, we didn't really call the $80 on the flop to fold when we improved to an open-ended straight draw, so I don't believe the small blind. He has about $500-ish behind. If we hit any of our cards, then we can easily stack him, I think. So let's see what happens. I make the call, and we're off to a river. The river is the king of clubs. This is not the card we're looking for. Pretty gross and disgusting. Small blind checks. I'm going to be forced to check it back. Not thinking we're good here ever. Small blind shows us the good old ace king with the ace of diamonds, so he does take it down with top on the river there, and yeah, the big blind said he had jacks or queens, and we fold, and we're stuck $900 in the first 10 minutes of this session. A little while later, we reload, add back on to the max, and now in this spot here, I have king 4 of spades in the big blind with an under the gun straddle. Folds all the way back to the small blind, who makes the call for $10. Here, pretty tricky spot since we're kind of like in the middle blind here, but with a suited king, I think I have to raise, so I size to $45. We don't get anyone to believe us as the under the gun straddler and small blind both call. We're going to a flop. Flop comes ace, deuce, 3, rainbow. Pretty great flop for us, honestly. So with the ace out there, we can definitely rep a ton of aces. Also, we do have the gutter with a 5 completing the wheel. So I decide to bet $75 when the small blind checks to me. The under the gun player folds pretty quickly, hopefully trying to get the $75 through and just take it down. But he makes the call, and we're going to a turn. Turn comes the king of diamonds, brings in the backdoor flush draw, and here he checks to us. Pretty standard and easy check back spot since we did turn some showdown with a pair of kings. Honestly, really not comfortable with it, so really just hoping to see a 5 or honestly another king on the river. The river comes the 6 of diamonds, the backdoor flush draw gets there, and now he leads out and fires for $100. This is a pretty annoying spot to be in. I think I should be folding here often since this is never really a bluff. The super small sizing on the river here just screams like it's trying to go for some thin value. But I'm curious. I hate folding. I toss in the chip, and he shows us the good old pocket 3s for a flopped set, and we paid him off big time.
Gone. Oh no. Heads up.
After losing those first 3 hands, we pick up another interesting spot when we look down at Jack 8 of hearts in the cutoff with a button straddle. Action folds to the player to my right in the hijack, and he opens it up to $40. Here, in the cutoff, a little bit more in tournament mode since I am still trying to adjust to cash. This is a spot where I think I can 3-bet in a tournament in position here. The hijack seems a lot more motivated to open a little bit wider since there is the button straddle and he's pretty much in position with 2 players left to act. So I 3-bet to $120. The button who straddled makes the folds. Folds back to the hijack, who does put in the good old 4-bet to $300. And I don't really love this spot, but I'm not really familiar with how this player plays. But I think he's competent enough to be 4-betting light here sometimes. And with Jack 8 suited, we're in position and very playable. I guess we're going to see what happens. He covers me, and I have about $700 back if I call this $300. So we'll see what happens. I make the call, and let's take it to a flop. The flop comes 10, 8, deuce, all diamonds. Not really great for us, but we do have a pair, so we are beating a lot of the ace-king, ace-queen combo that he could have. He thinks and then fires a bet of $300. Here, like I said, I only have $700 left in my stack. So if I call and leave myself with $400 behind, it seems pretty awkward. But I think raising here with middle pair is a little ambitious. So let's just make the call. Hopefully we can try to improve or fade a diamond out there, since he does have a lot of 1 diamond holdings. I called the 300, and we're going to see a turn. Turn is pretty gorgeous. It is the Jack of Clubs. Oh yeah, let's go. We improved the 2 pair, and we have all the money in there already. Let's just get the rest of my stack in. He thinks about it, then jams, putting my entire stack all in. Easy snap call for us, and we're going to a river. The river's the Queen of Clubs. Oh boy. Obviously not the best card since Ace King and Pocket Queens gets there. But it doesn't matter. He only shows us Pocket Aces. What a suck out with the Jack 8 suited in a 4-bet pot.
Second. Second. 20.
We move from the must-move table to the main 2-5 game, and one of the first hands that we pick up are Pocket Jacks in the big blind. Ungun player opens up the action with $20. He has a massive stack, very much covering everyone at the table. +1 makes the call, and here folds to me. Out of position, Pocket Jacks. I can lean both ways here, but I think it's a little too strong to just flat out of position, so I 3-bet to $90, and the ungun player snap folds, but surprisingly, the +1 player makes the call, which is pretty interesting. So we're going to a flop, which comes King 7-5, 2 diamonds. Not really the best card in the world for Jacks, but still comfortable enough to c-bet 1/3 pots, get calls from 8s, 9s, 10s. So I bet $75. He thinks and then puts in the raise to $210. This isn't really a spot that we're comfortable with. We're not loving this with Pocket Jacks here facing the raise on the flop. Hands that he can be holding, it really smells like Pocket 7s the majority of the time, or sometimes he can be having a hand like 10-8 of diamonds with some sort of combo draw. Regardless, with 1 pair, 2nd pair, we're going to have to let this one go, unfortunately. Next, after that, we look down at Pocket Queens. Great spot in the cutoff. I open at $20. Now the player on the button on my left, he's the guy with the massive stack. He 3-bets to $60. It folds all the way back to him, and here, playing out of position with a pretty strong hands. And I know he's pretty familiar with the channel, and I just know that from past experience, he is just a much more solid player than I am. Regardless, this is a great hand to just defend right now. Keep all of his 3-bet bluffs in range. So I call out of position, and we're going to a flop. Flop is Jack 6-4, 2 clubs, and a spade out there. I check to the pre-flop 3-better, and he throws out a bet of $60. With our overpair, obviously going to just standardly make the call. Certainly, he can have a hand like Pocket Jacks that is dominating us right now on this flop, but also a lot of hands like suited connectors or Jack 10 suited, he definitely can be continuing with. Turn comes the King of Spades, brings in the backdoor flush draw, and here, once again, I check, although not really the best card that we're looking for on the turn. He thinks, then fires out $325. What, dude? I don't really know what's going on here. Pretty big overbet on this turn, and I'm not really sure what to make of it. I simply don't have enough experience to be comfortable facing overbets and just being able to decipher what the hell they mean. So I'm super confused. I feel really lost, and I'm not really sure what's going on. He could be nutted with a hand like Pocket Jacks, trying to target a hand that I could have like Ace King, Ace Queen, or sometimes he can have Ace King and he could just look like he's trying to bluff at it, knowing that probably Ace King is pretty nutted here. Realistically, I only beat hands like Ace Queen or Queen 10 of spades or something like that, and both of them I reduced some combinations of holding 2 queens in my hand. So yeah, I don't really know what to do here. At the end of the day, I ended up just folding because I'm not really sure, but please, in the comments below, let me know what you guys think about this, because I just have no idea. The next spot we find ourselves involved in, Pocket 3s in the small blind, and it folds to us. Here, blind versus blind, certainly going to be raising, since we are not chopping on this table. I open to $15. The big blind, same player from last hand, sitting with a massive stack. 3-bets to $45. Seems like he's 3-betting a fairly high frequency, and especially against me in positions. So, yeah, we're just going to defend our Pocket 3s and take it to a flop. Flop comes Jack, Jack, Deuce, 2 spades out there, and this is actually not a bad flop for Pocket 3s. We can certainly continue and play this. So I check. He throws out a bet of $30, and I think he'd be c-betting like basically his entire range with this flop here. So I defend since he can't have a lot of random cards that shows up. I call 30 and we're going to a return. Turn comes the 9 of diamonds, brings in the backdoor flush draw, which is interesting. Super wet board now, and I check. He fires on the larger side to $120. Facing the larger bet on this turn, there are just so many tons of combo draws and everything out there. We don't necessarily have to be beat with our pair of threes, although it is very weak and vulnerable. Seems like this is the bottom end of our bluff catching range, but here against this player, he's been very aggressive, and I don't believe him right now, so we'll see what happens. I call, defend my pair of threes, and we're going to a river. The river is pretty great. It's the 3 of diamonds. Oh my goodness. What the hell did we river here? Probably a dream river, but if our read is right, then I definitely can't just go check call, then bet river. Seems like a super strong line, and if I'm putting him on a bunch of combo draws that probably break down unless they were diamonds, then I definitely don't get any value regardless. So I check, and here baiting on him to just bet his bluffs, bet his misdraws or something like that. He does oblige after thinking it for quite some time and throws out $300 in there. Here, perfect time to go for the check raise, 100% when we boat up on the river. Defending, now I'm just thinking about the sizing that he can call. Obviously just trying to target value hands. If he does somehow have Jack X, that would be pretty amazing. If he has a flush, that would be amazing. So here, I have about $1,500 left in my stack. And certainly thinking about just ripping it all in, but I definitely want to get value from just his value hands. So I decided to throw in the check raise to $1,100, giving myself about a few $100 behind. This sometimes can look like a bluff, so I could potentially just get called a little bit lighter here if he has a higher pocket pair or an overpair. And if I face a 3-bet jam over the top, then I'm put in a pretty disgusting spot where, honestly, I might just have to fold and save myself a few $100. Regardless, though, it doesn't come to that because he tanks for a long time. He starts talking to himself, and it's sounding like I have him beat with a boat, since he's putting me on some sort of Jack 9 time to holding. Little does he know, I'm a little bit weaker than that, and I potentially did suck out big time. After tanking for a while, he ends up putting in the call. We show our hand, and we're good. He has ace-jack of clubs, so this was a hell of a freaking suck-out. Probably never should have been there, and never should have seen all 5 cards, but here we are. Sorry to be such a huge river rat, Dave. It was really great playing with you. After that suck-out, the very next hand, we look down at ace-king offsuit on the button. Before I can even get my chips in order or write down my notes, we have another premium holding. The unlanded player opens to $20. Next to act makes the call for 20, and here in position, certainly going to be 3-betting, so I size to $85. Next, small blind player that we just sucked out big time on, he 4-bets to $280. Folds back to me, and we have quite the decision to make. Folding is obviously out of the question, but also I just know he can be 4-betting so light often. I just did suck out big time, and here with a premium holding, you know, I don't think 5-betting is going to be too profitable, since he can 4-bet light and we're on the buttons, so certainly just going to be making the call, and looks like we have another big pot brewing. Flop comes Jack 6-3 Rainbow. Just not the board we're looking for with ace-king at all. But he does bet out $175. Like I said, I think he's going to be c-betting and down-betting here very often with basically 100% of the time, it seems like. So on this super dry board, I think ace-king high can certainly be good here. I think he can be 4-betting some wider hands, maybe even like queen 10 suited, as wide as that or something. So like ace-king high certainly can be good. On top of that, he also can have a lot of suited real aces here that certainly just doesn't want to flat call a button 3-bet, so 4-bet would make a lot of sense. Regardless, I think I can defend ace-king high right now, so I call 175 and evaluating a turn. Turn is the 8 of hearts, brings in the good old rainbow, and now he checks to us. Here, given this action, I think I just have to take a stab at this, given the opportunity to. So let's take a stab and bluff at this. I size to $325. He thinks about it, then makes the fold relatively quickly. So great for us. We just take down 2 pretty big pots in a row. Let's keep on running this up.
$275.
Running things up so far in the next spot here with Queen 9 of clubs on the button, a little bit wide. When action folds to the cutoff and he opens it up to $20. In position, pretty playable holding, so let's just make the call and see a flop. So I call and the big blind calls. Going to a flop which comes Jack 7 deuce, 2 diamonds, and a heart out there. Surprisingly, action checks to me, so no c-bet from the cutoff, and here I don't really have a whole lot going for me, so I just check it in position, and we're going to see a turn. Turn comes the 8 of hearts, brings in the backdoor flush draw, and improves us to at least a gutter ball, so we've got something going on now. The big blind throws out a bet of $25. I make the call for $25 and hoping to improve. The river does that. The river is the 10 of hearts. Beautiful. We have the nut straight, although the backdoor flush draw gets there. Unfortunately, we won't be able to go for super max value, but he does bet $100 with the nut straight, obviously putting in the raise and trying to put more money in there. Also very cognizant that we probably will have to fold to a 3-bet if he does that. But here, let's go for value. I raise to $275. He tanks, and like I said, if we face a 3-bet, it's just going to be a pretty awful spot for us. But luckily for us, he tanks, just puts in the flat call, so we should be good here all the time. I show my hand, and it looked like he had a 9s for a straight as well, but we win this one with the queen high straight. This next spot, once again, on the button with an under the gun straddle, this time playing 5-handed. Here, picking up ace-queen offsuit, the player playing +1, I know it's not called +1, but that's how I have it in my notes. He opens it up to $35, the button makes the call, and the small blind makes the call. Now, out of position, I don't think we want to take ace-queen multi-way. It's certainly a premium playing 5-handed. So, out of position, we're trying to figure out how big of a sizing we should go with, since we are on the big blind. After thinking it over, I size up my 3-bet to $185. Only the +1 player makes the call, and the other players fold. So, out of position here against the +1 5-handed opening range. We'll see what happens, but the flop comes King 10-6 Rainbow. This is really not the best board for ace-queen, since we really only have a gutter and I guess the ace as the over. But really not great, but amazing for my perceived range here. So I c-bets $155. I'm hoping to take it down, but unfortunately does not happen as he thinks about it and makes the call. Would love to see a jack on this turn. The turn comes the deuce of spades, brings in a backdoor flush draw, and here debating between firing another barrel or just checking it down and hopefully just giving up here. As you know, we don't really love to click that check button too much, so I go for it. I bet $275, and with this bet, he immediately looks at his chips, which is really not great. Just from his posture and what he's looking like, doesn't look like he's thinking about folding at all. So, it seems like we picked a pretty horrible time to try to bet here in this pretty large pot that's brewing right now. After thinking it over a little bit, he jams about $600+ total. Yeah, we're going to have to snap fold these cards, and we're moving on. A little bit of a punt. Tried to go for the double barrel bluff. Certainly did not work. After that disaster of a hand, we pick up a pretty premium one here in aces on the big blind. Once again, for the 3rd time in a row on the big blind. Early position player, same player from last hand, actually. He opens it up to $20. There's one caller, and here, easy 3-bet spot for sure. It's probably one of the better candidates, I would say, to 3-bet. Anyways, I go for a sizing of $85, but unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, we'll see, I accidentally put in an extra $25 green chip, so a little bit of a misclick, sized up a little bit bigger than I wanted to, so it's actually a 3-bet to $105 by accident. Folds back to the original raiser in early position, and he puts in the 4-bet. What? Are you kidding? Puts in the 4-bet to $310. Folds back to me after playing with this specific player for about an hour or two. It seems like he doesn't have a whole lot of 4-bet bluffs in his range, so this is going to get pretty massive. So I don't think I can ever flat call this, especially out of position. We want to get as much money in the middle here as possible pre-flop. I don't think he has a 4-bet bluffing range or hand, so putting in the 5 bets, I size to $850. And now he goes well into the tank. I'm praying for him to have pocket kings because realistically, I'm not even sure if he would 4-bet queens in this spot. So I'm thinking pocket kings and sometimes aces here, and might just be chopping it up. But after tanking and just making the call, smells like he has kings, and we're going to a flop just trying to fade 1 or maybe 2 cards. Flop comes 4, 5, 6 rainbow. This is as clean as it gets with aces in a 5-bet pot. Let's do it. He has about $1,200 behind in his stack, and I know he watches the channel, and I know that given my image here, it's going to be pretty hard to fold kings on this beautiful flop. So I jam it all in. He makes the call pretty quickly. This is a massive 4K plus pot. Let's try to hold with our aces.
Is it kings against aces? Oh man. I mean, I think it's so kings. No way not.
Take it, right?
You know what? We're gonna go down like that anyways if they saw the flop.
In the same orbit after we pick up aces here, we look down at queen jack of spades under the gun, and I'm actually trying to take a break here. This was the last hand that I was going to see until the blinds get to me to take a mid-session update. So here, sitting with a massive stack, I just decided to open limp. No need to really raise so far, and I think I'm playing a little scared at the fold to the small blind, who raises it up to $20. The big blind makes the call, and here, obviously, never folding queen jack suited. So we're in position, and we're going to a flop. Flop comes 10, 9, 6, 2 spades. Holy shit. Am I dreaming? Really? Another one of these flops where we really want to get it in? So the small blind throws out a bet of $30. The big blind folds, and here I'm trying to get as much money in the middle as I possibly can. I raise to $125. He thinks about it. After a little bit, 6 his entire stack in for $575 total. All right. We're snap calling. We're never going away. Let's try to get there with our combo draw. Let's see what happens. The turn is a 6. That's horrible. Oh my god. I mucked it. I thought that was a 6. Oh my god. In the commentary, you'll see, I'm editing this video right now, and I just realized I mucked my hand. I thought that turn was a 6, not an 8, so I got there. I can't believe I folded that. You'll literally see. You'll see the commentary. I literally folded. I folded it. He had jacks. I can't even. I just threw away like $1,200. You'll see here in the mid-session update in a little bit. I can't believe I'm just rewatching this and I got it on video, and in real time I thought that was a 6, so I just mucked my hand, but I had the nut straight. I got there with the straight and I folded it. It was like a $1,300 pot. How do I find this out now? That's this whole time I thought this is crazy. And the river does not improve us as well. Sitting with queen high, not great as we bricked out everything. He shows us pocket jacks and he scoops it with jacks.
Mid-session update. So many mixed emotions. So I was gonna take a break right after that aces versus kings hand, which is fucking insane. And then the last hand I get dealt, queen jack of spades. And then I lose $600, like just like that. Like, so I'm really annoyed that I didn't do all the thumbnail picture, the chip stack video, all that stuff before I lost $600, because then the chip stack would have looked a lot cooler. But oh my god, I need to take this break. This is crazy. There's a lot of like adrenaline. I'm super shaky still. And then the queen jack of spades hand happened. It's like, yeah, I'm not. And I picked up ace king right before that too, and lost. So I picked up 2 hands that are pretty big back to back and lost after picking up aces versus kings. So obviously the variance is gonna go back down to normal. But I'm sitting with the masses. I don't even know how much I have. I don't even know how much that pot was, but he had a lot, and that was like a really big pot. It was like almost a 4K pot, I think. So I'm freaking out, man. I'm freaking out. So much has happened today, in such a small amount of time. I think I've only played like 3-4 hours. The night's young. I have a massive stack, and I'm probably gonna have to leave pretty soon. I might go back in there, play another orbit or two, and see what happens. But I'm a little annoyed that queen jack is made. It's like so like you just like there's no way I could have kept running that hot. Like after winning that much, there's no way I was gonna hit any of those outs with queen jack there. But anyways, that's that. I just had to come out and talk to you guys, give you guys some live updates and how I'm feeling, because I was like, my hands were shaking during that pot. It's like I knew he had kings, just fade me a king, and there we go. So we have a massive stack. What a crazy session, guys. What a crazy session. So we'll see. We're just gonna take a breather, get back into it, and see how it goes. Wish us luck. Wish us luck. We can't punt off my whole stack, right?
The very first hand back from this mid-session update and my mini break here, we have pocket jacks in the big blind with the under the gun straddle. So there is a caller to $10 of the straddle here and folds to me. Here, out of position, let's size up a little bit. I raise to $55. The under the gun player who straddled now puts in the 3-bet and puts the pressure on. He 3-bets to $165. Obviously, the player that called 10 is getting out of the way and actions onto me. This is the same player that we've been battling out with. He had a massive stack in front of him, and here, I think his 3-betting range against me specifically is a little bit light. Considering he's a very experienced player, and he knows that I am not too much, I can be playing a little bit scared here, considering I have a ridiculous stack in front of me. But pocket jack's really good candidate to 4-bet out of position here, and just put some more pressure on his 3-bet holdings. So I raise to $400, and he makes the call. We've got 800 in the middle, boys. Oh my god, why do we keep getting ourselves into these massive situations? We're going to a flop which comes 10-8-5 rainbow. So obviously, I feel decent because I do have an overpair, but his 3-betting and calling a 4-bet range really consists of just mainly pocket pairs, and pocket 10s and 8s are very much in there. So with our overpair, we still have to bet and deny some equity from hands like king, queen suited, ace queen, ace king. So I throw out a c-bet to $325. He thinks about it and ends up making the call. We're going to a turn, which comes the deuce of clubs, brings in the backdoor flush draw. Here, with our overpair, we seem pretty confident since he didn't raise us here on this flop, but he's sitting about $1,000 deep, and here, I think I can just pot control sometimes. I can also let him try to bluff at this with all of his overcards. I think I can check this and balance a little bit, since I am very much known to just continually pump money in the middle. So I check, potentially let him bluff as well, since he is also very likely to do so. He goes all in for $132 total. I am in a world of pain and agony as I go deep into the tank. Let's go to the live footage as I capture what's going on in my head real time and the table talk.
That's 9, right?
Oh my god, what the hell do I do with this hand? This is such a sick spot. What the fuck? Holy shit, am I just supposed to just close my eyes and put it in? This is so sick. It's like 9s. I beat 9s. And like ace 10 of clubs. Ace 10 of clubs are 9s. I don't know why you do that with 9s. Just like close my eyes and shut it. What the fuck? How do you ever have like a monster? This is crazy.
You're right.
Is that you good?
These are right.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the hand I figured it was.
Nice hand.
Listen.
And that's the only move you have in order to take it down.
Oh, if you want to give me a sorry.
Come on. running into Farzad here in the outro. Also, Officer Fisher. Nice meeting you, man.
Nice meeting you, man.
Good luck tonight. Holy shit. What a stupid session. What a stupid session that was today. I started off horrible. First two hands, like, donked it off, and then you just run like a god. This was ridiculous. Just ran up so hard. I don't know. I'm gonna big shout out to this blue chip. Not a blue chip. This coin protector, card protector, metal coin, Rampage Poker. I think I'm gonna attribute all my success today to that. So I was in the game for 2,300, out of it for an even 7,300. And yeah, so there's the screen right there. It was absolutely crazy. Shout out to all the dealers that dealt me the aces versus kings hand, the pocket jacks versus nines hand. Those two were crazy. I don't know what to say, man. It was just ridiculous. It's funny too, because this right now, this is the weekend where I'm reading through all the current emails of the $5,000 giveaway. And it's like crazy that I just made $5,000 today. So I don't know, man. Just crazy timing. What an insane run. Thank you for everyone's support. Today was absolutely just I'm speechless. There's not much to say when you run that well at 2.5. Yeah, my chart that you'll see on my poker app is gonna have a huge uptick. I don't know. This also makes up for a lot of the buy-ins that I lost at Cabo as well in the tournaments, because I lost a decent amount, but I'm still speechless. I don't know what to say. Leave a like. We gotta leave a like. If you're not leaving a like at this video, what are you doing? Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.